Welcome to Collecting Consciousness, where we aim to capture the ever-expanding and evolving conscious creations that originate from the minds of fellow podcasters, strangers, dear friends, and loved ones.
In this podcast, we will expand on our inner wisdom and a coming home to self. From our conscious minds to yours, we welcome you to the Collecting Consciousness. All right, so welcome into another episode of Collecting Consciousness. Here we are continuing the series of the Burlesque series. We have been interviewing performer after performer, diving deep, getting to know who the artist is. And today we have another artist. So, Rocki Quartz is a new and up-and-coming drag and burlesque performer with a passion for dance. Their dream has always been to entertain, and now they combine their love of performing with their loud and proud queerness. After many years of dance and theater, Rocki is taking a more mature and sexy approach and path, while staying true to their background and providing the audience with an exciting and entertaining experience. Welcome, Rocki Quartz.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, we're so happy to have you.
Totally.
Just before we were recording, we were really talking about some crystals, and I would love just to start out with where your name came from.
Okay. Perfect. So it's quite a story. When I was thinking about my sort of like drag and burlesque kind of persona, I was thinking what kind of vibe that I want to kind of emanate when I'm performing. And the first thing that came to my mind was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh.
I love that movie. I love that aesthetic. I love that style. I've always wanted to be in that show. So I was like, okay, Rocky, that's a good start. Now I need some kind of last name. I'm a really big fan of Steven Universe.
Nice.
And all of the characters in that show are named after crystals. So like some of the main characters are like Rose Quartz, Smoky Quartz, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, Rocki Quartz, that actually sounds really good together. That's really cute. And then I changed the Y in Rocky to an I because I thought that looked cooler and I thought that suited me better.
Yeah, and we were talking about that this past weekend, and it is cute, and it is. I like that little shift of the Y to the I. It's very cute. It's very fitting for you. I love the drag name and the burlesque name.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I also have another follow-up question for you. So you're up and coming. You're new. Where did your burlesque career start?
Well, funny enough, it was actually someone kind of just like recommended that I be a drag queen after just kind of seeing me dance around in her apartment. It was like, I think you should do that. And when I used to live in Fredericton, I was friends with a lot of the drag queens there, so I was getting a lot of support there. And there was a show that was being done that was purposely for new like drag queens. It was called the Cherry Pop Show. I applied for it, I got in, and the rest was kind of history from there. When Jacinda put out the kind of call for performers for our show, I was like, why not? I'll apply for that too. It'll only be really my second show as Rocki Quartz, but why not? And it worked out.
Were you still living in Fredericton at the time, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, I've lived here for about 2 years now. But I had people still in Fredericton. Like I still have a lot of connections there. So okay. I would go and like visit and like hang out and go check out the shows that are there. And yeah, so I still have like a lot of like friends that do drag in Fredericton and even in St. John. So I had a lot of support.
I love that. Bethany, I'll throw it over to you. Oh, can't hear you. Your mic.
Oh.
She's still talking, and we're like, can't hear you.
Wow.
Great question.
Yeah,
No,
wow.
No. Technical, difficult. There we go, I think.
Can you hear me?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go.
Oh, I had to turn off the mic. It died. Can you hear me?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It just died on me. Oh, in the shuffle.
Really great question, though.
Yeah,
really
wasn't
great
it?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Answer?
That was incredible.
Answer? You got an answer? Okay. So,
Yeah.
so, anywho, I was saying, or going to say, that what I noticed in your show was, like, and even going back and watching your videos that you had sent me for some media stuff, I was like, man, like, she was so choreographed. Like, it was so, like, because we've talked to many people now, many burlesque dancers, and it's a dibble dabble of how everybody comes up with their shows and their backgrounds before the show. So I'm just kind of curious if you can expand on your background, like, because we kind of touched on it in your intro, but can you expand on that background of who you were before and what you're bringing into Rocki Quartz? Because I can feel it and I can see it.
Absolutely, I can.
Yeah.
So, like was mentioned in my bio, I used to do dance and theater. I started dancing, I think, when I was about 3 years old, and I did a whole slew of genres. I started off with tap dancing. That was definitely one of my favorites. I did like a year of ballet and I didn't really like that, but that's okay. I then went on to do hip hop, jazz, contemporary, lyrical, musical theater. And then I did a little bit of like Irish and salsa.
Oh my God.
So that went on for about 14 years. I took a couple years break and then I went back to it. And then after graduating high school, I kind of stopped because I moved out of my city and I didn't really have a dance academy to go to anymore. But also while I was doing high school, that's when I started doing musical theater as well. And I started doing like musicals and plays and stuff. So I was doing a lot of like dancing and acting during that time, and that continued on into my first couple years of university. So that was probably about like 7-ish years in total of acting. And honestly, I just really missed both of those things a lot. Dancing is just one of my it's one of my core personality traits. I'm always dancing if I'm at home by myself, like doing the dishes. I've got music on and it's taking me like an hour to clean a couple of dishes because I'm too busy dancing. But yeah, so performing like this was just kind of like an outlet for me. I really just needed a way to get back to dancing.
I love that. I love that. And so when you are creating, I mean, you've only created 3 acts at this time, like 3 acts. When you're creating them, are you literally memorizing a dance? Like you're coming up with it in your mind and like it's all choreographed? Yeah,
pretty much. So I've kind of had to adapt to the more like drag kind of style of like, there's an audience that you actually go in to the audience and you kind of interact with everybody and you take tips and you kind of just like, you know, really give them like a personal experience. And it's the same thing. I bring that to burlesque as well. With my first burlesque show, you guys saw me. I was out in the audience kind of like being with everybody. So I kind of have to like, this is going to sound really funny, but I have to kind of like choreograph when there will be improv. I have to purposely be like, okay, so this is a choreographed section and then this will be my kind of time to improv and kind of play with the audience and just kind of go with the music, go with the flow. So I am memorizing like a decent chunk of choreography for all of my numbers, but there is quite a bit of like, okay, improv here, improv there, go out into the audience here kind of thing. And I usually kind of go with like the lyrics, what kind of like makes sense to me, what kind of section of the song is like, oh, this is a really good part for me to go interact with people. There's a lot of like lyrics that I can kind of like play with other people with kind of thing. So it is all like pretty intentional.
Yeah, and just send that's a normal thing too, is to leave space, leave room for that improv, knowing that here's going to be 30 seconds. And then that's like another bit where the magic can come out too, because we're playing with the energy of the show, of the audience, of the art. I do just want to put a little disclaimer here, guys. Rocki Quartz, I apologize if we use pronouns of she. I just want to put it out there that Rocki Quartz is they them. So I apologize if at times we do slip up.
No, that is okay. I bring a lot of sexy feminine energy. I know what I am. I'm okay with it.
Cool. Love it. Awesome. Okay, so I was curious because, the performance we did, it was your second show. How did you feel in Tech Run? Because when I got to Tech Run, I was like, oh, hot damn. Like, wasn't nervous at all. And then I got to Tech Run and I was like, holy shit, what's happening? How did you feel?
I felt not necessarily nervous about my own performance, but being around a lot of like seasoned burlesque dancers, I kind of had a moment of like, do I actually belong here? Like, everyone else is really cool and really sexy and probably pretty established. They all know each other, so clearly they've been doing this for a while. And so that made me like nervous, but then watching everyone's performance and just seeing like how different everyone is, but how like similar I am to everyone too, I was like, actually, you know what? I feel kind of comfortable here. This feels almost right, Yeah,
I agree with you. Like in the sense, like I wasn't comparing my number to the other dancers, but like you said, that season, like that. Those seasoned dancers, those seasoned performers, the bond that they were all having, it was just like, oh wow, we're in it. And the nerves were kind of like, okay, you're showing up now for your colleagues, with your peers, and it's bringing your art forward. So it was just like this, pun intended, but the spotlight gets put on you. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I actually didn't get to see your performance because you were after me, and just ended up booted us because we were gabbing a bit and we had to get through Tech Run. He's like, I gotta eat. And so we did. I know. So did I. I was like, my brain always is like, really. I was like, I don't have to perform my hula hooping number because I was like, you can cut mine. I already know, like, I'm good. Like, let's get this man his food. The considerate person in me was like, oh man, this poor fucker.
I was like, you guys can play with lighting. I had nothing particular in mind.
Same.
We can skip over me. It's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing that I think is a cool common theme with everybody, and this is like one of the themes that I'm pulling out, is that the community is so colored and it's so accepting that you, even as an outsider, you like identified that is how you felt, but instantly you felt accepted. And I think it's because it is such a colored community of people.
Truly.
And there's this like really radical acceptance because I think all of you have been in very similar shoes at one time or another. So I think there is that really beautiful thing that I hear now in this interview as we keep going. Like,
and to lean into that, Bethany, like Rocki and I just we were hanging out this weekend. We were doing photo shoots, and we were at this old house in downtown Moncton. And I don't know about you, Rocki, but I was chatting with Jacinda after, but we all felt so safe. As soon as I walked in the doors, it was like I didn't even think to not feel safe, like or to question. It was truly just like everybody was like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you doing? Like, tits were out. We were literally. We were very, very creative. But going back to you, Bethany, it's like, yes, it truly, truly is an empowering, safe space where right off the bat, you're going to be accepted.
Absolutely. And like, if I may add to that, I've had a really hard time finding like a good queer community here in Moncton, and like just coming here for college and just like kind of not really leaving my apartment for anything besides college. I'm like, okay, there isn't like as vibrant of a queer community as there is in somewhere like Fredericton. So going in and becoming Rocki was also kind of my way to find that too. Because I know that where the drag queens are, where the burlesque performers and dancers are, that's where the queer people are going to be. Cool. And I was right. Like even our fellow performers that don't identify as queer are very loving and accepting of queer people. And that's just the vibe that I really need in order to feel comfortable in a space. Like, I can survive if there's no other queer people, but I won't have fun with it.
And has that opened up, like finding the community now, finding this place in Moncton, has that opened up new avenues for you? Have you created new friendships, new bonds with people? Are you finding a deeper layer to your queer community?
I'd like to think so. Yeah. All the performers that I have met through, even through the first show that I did, I still talk to both of the other like up and coming drag queens that had their cherry popped during that show. Like we're still friends. I love all of the performers that I was with during our show. Like obviously I'm here, so I still have you as a connection.
100%. We had our little photo shoot the other day.
Yes,
my mom was our stage. My mom is our stage mom, was taking photos.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Mom started it out.
No, it was really nice.
Yeah,
it was really nice to see you, Jacinda, Amber, Shady. Yeah. Oh my god, it was so nice to see
I was happy. There was quite a few of us, and it was good to see us all together again.
So it has been nice that I can kind of like express my queerness more here in Moncton, especially in like the current state of the world. I'm like, we need spaces for queer people, and we need queer people to just like come together, be there for each other,
and be themselves, and not have to worry that just being yourself, like you're being yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not.
And it is pretty heartbreaking to see how the community is being latched on and scapegoated, and that's a layered topic. But my heart goes out to the queer community. Like I will always advocate for the queer community.
Absolutely. Me too. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't also for the sake of speaking up for other people. Yeah. Like I can dance anywhere. I can act anywhere, but drag and burlesque and that kind of like exposing yourself quite literally and figuratively is an act of rebellion. And that's another reason why I like it. That's another layer to it.
And that's the true art of burlesque, is that rebellion, is that fuck you to society of these boxes, these labels. So to be loud and queer, I love it. So thank you for showing up as you, Rocki Quartz.
Well, thank you for having me as me.
Yeah.
I do have a question for your first ever drag performance, what was it called? The Cherry Pop?
Yeah, so it's a show that is put on, I think, pretty much every year, where they get like about 3 or 4 new drag queens, and we perform at I believe it was the Hilton. Yeah, we performed at the Hilton Hotel.
Oh, cool.
And there was a pretty decent crowd there. I think there was probably almost 100 people there.
Oh, amazing! Just 4 performers. Wow.
Actually, yeah, no, and I felt so bad. One of our performers actually got sick before the show, or I think they might have injured themselves. But there ended up only being 3 of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2 of us performed like 2 numbers. One of us only performed 1, and there was just like so much support and excitement for these performers that nobody really knew anything about, and it was just a really like heartwarming experience that like we were given a chance, and everybody was there for it. Everybody loved it.
Awesome. That's fun. See, again, immediately just people wanting to see people shine. Like, please, world, disclaimer, let people shine out.
Please.
Yeah. And it's cool too, because you have a very deep background of dance, of theater. So to add to like no nervousness, because this is who you are. This is your personality. It's really just you getting to do a new platform and showcase your art. So where is this art going to go?
That's a great question. I'm hoping that I can continue to perform. I really like the more burlesque scene because I do get to experience like a lot more dancing and a lot more like different forms of dance. But I love being a drag performer too. So I would love to continue with both of those things. Hopefully I'll be able to perform in like Fredericton and St. John, which is my hometown. Hopefully I can get out of New Brunswick as well and kind of like perform around there. I really just want to like spread the queerness. I want people to see me as like a cute, sparkly little disease.
Oh,
It's your message. It's like a true message for you, a true purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love to eventually get to the point where I can like help other people get their start and kind of like be the one.
Be a
that's
drag
giving-
mama.
I want to be a drag mama so bad.
It's gonna happen. I already feel it. You're
I
calling
do
it
it so-
into your.
I do it so much anyway. I'm also a cosplayer. And
Cool.
I take so many kids as like my cosplay children. I'm like, yep, you're mine now. What do you need help with? Do you need me to cut your wig? I'll cut your wig.
oh.
I'll do your makeup.
What is-
I'll do it all.
What is your drag aesthetic?
I think my drag aesthetic is very much like, kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of aesthetic, but imagine that done in like a casino.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Like glimmery glamorous,
Yeah.
but like
Got the
so
box, like the
dark.
box of things, cigarettes, and
Yes, like the smoke machines going. There's jazz happening somewhere.
Oh, I love
Like-
it. Do you go to jazz nights at the laundromat on Wednesdays?
I don't, but that's just because I don't want to go by myself.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to go, let me know. I like going to jazz night.
Oh, that'd be so exciting.
Cool.
I have a question. What is the difference between drag and burlesque? Like just to be like obvious, because I'm like, I don't know if I know. I mean, I know they're two different things, but like
Yeah.
what are the obvious differences, I guess?
I think the difference kind of stems from like drag performances are more kind of like they're more just like improv. They're more like playing around with the audience, and they're more just kind of like queer people being queer for other queer people. And I'm glad that like burlesque has kind of adapted that as well. But burlesque is a lot more, to me at least, a lot more like this is like a performance art, that, which drag is too, of course. But there's more like, you know, there's like, it's a whole category of like pole dancing, of like hoops, like Courtney does, of like silks and all that kind of stuff. I find that like drag is just a different form of art that relies a lot more on like improv and like audience participation and a lot more like theatrics kind of.
Gotcha. Okay. And burlesque seems like more of just like wide range performance.
Yeah.
Where where drag is like more just like you physically, like just the body, you know.
Pretty
But,
much,
like,
yeah.
Okay, got it.
A lot of singing, a lot of lip singing too.
A lot of
Oh,
lip syncing,
cool.
yes.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Cool.
gotcha. Cool.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. So, all right, drag. Have you ever done like the full makeup get up? Like I love drag makeup.
Oh, me too. I haven't performed with like huge drag makeup because I still like I'm pretty chill with my makeup. I like the big makeup, but I still haven't quite found like what kind of like drag aesthetic looks good
Right.
on me. Like
Okay, cool.
my usual makeup is usually pretty extravagant as it is, and a lot of people like in my personal life kind of compare me to drag queens anyway if I go out
really?
in makeup, because I do a lot of like big big eyeshadow, big eyeliner. I usually have like
Oh.
sparkles around my eyes or like my little
Love
dots that I have and stuff. But in terms of like big eleganza, I have not figured out what suits me yet, and I'm still kind of working on that. So
Well, and I was just gonna say it's getting created, like where me and you are both new, so like watching ourselves find like, oh wow, this I really like this. Oh, you know, like that creativity is really like just starting to simmer and bubble for us.
yes. And I'm really excited to see where both of us go.
Yeah, are you jumping in the duality show by CJ? CJ Noyes?
No, I am not. but I'm curious. What is that?
So it's going to be June 12th, and I would reach out to Jacinda. Maybe she might need some like stagehands, like behind the scenes. But it's a theatrical review, so there's going to be poetry, there's going to be spoken words, there's burlesque, there's dancing. I'm not sure if there's any singers, but it's just like it's a bunch of different acts, and it's a theatrical review. So I'm going to be doing the burlesque in it. I'm super stoked. So after our little photo shoot we had on Sunday, I went and performed, was practicing, and Jacinda was there, and Jacinda, like stage mama, like giving me tips and some floor work ideas. So it was fun. Any sort of performance, I just want it, like all performances. I'm going to apply for them all. Because I'm like you, I just want to get this art out, and I truly, this is you're talking about dancing in the kitchen, doing like that's all I do. I'm always just it's my personality, like, so I really resonate with you on that.
No, I did see those Instagram pictures, and I was like, "Ooh, what are you practicing for?"
Yeah. Also, there's gonna just to keep you updated, there's always a show in Halifax, the Atlantic Burlesque Festival. So that's happening at the end of May. So just stay tuned for that for next year as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I love what Jacinda's like offering. Do you ever go to like the gym, like the pole gym or wherever you guys go?
Actually. Yeah. I did take a couple pole classes and flexibility classes before I even like started doing drag.
Cool.
And then unfortunately I had to stop going just because I was a little busy with school and I couldn't really afford to keep up with like the classes and everything. Yeah. But hopefully I will get to go back, especially now that I know Jacinda personally, because they were really fun. Yeah. And I really want to work more on my flexibility. I need to get my splits back.
Yeah, be patient with those hamstrings.
Yeah, I will.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love what Jacinda's doing. Like, she's definitely like got it going on.
Huge. Yeah. And also, Bethany, side note, like generator at her finest. I'm calling it generator, manifesting generator. No, I don't. I'm gonna ask her for her birth time. But like she's just involved in so many things. The energy just keeps going. Like after, like she literally is always behind the scenes and in the scenes, doing all the things, helping out so many people. Like right after us doing, like she was there earlier than we were, but it was from 9 to 1, and she left, got some food, came over, and then there was a bunch of performers from 2 till like 6 or 7, and she was doing that. Like she was there doing that. Like she's always involved in something. She's truly a big force in the community. She's really great for New Brunswick. She's really great for Moncton. She is like, and her heart is so big. Like it's never, you can tell that, you can feel it's always so organic. She's always organically passionate about all the things that she's doing. So shout out Cayenne Pepper, shout out Jacinda.
Go back to our little episode of the series.
Go back to the exactly.
Go listen to her.
You can
watch her, support her, everything. I love her so much. She I don't know if she realizes it yet, but she has already played like a pretty big role in me as like me being a performer. She took a chance on me after only seeing like 2 little performances from me, and she gave me so much like positive energy and like reassurance of like, I love what you do. I already love everything that you're doing. And I'm like, oh my God, stop.
Yay.
I want to tweak it just a little bit. She absolutely knows what she sees. Like she has the eye. No, she does. She's like, same thing with Courtney. Like she saw Courtney at this like, party.
She's a talent. Like, she's a talent fucking agent.
She is like, she knows what she sees. It's like, it's not that she didn't see it in you and like just trusted. She saw it in you and she knows it's in you. So that's what I think about Jacinda. She like knows the talent when she sees it, so
hence the talent and be,
you know what that is.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean,
cool.
She's doing a great job, and
she is.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you found a community that feels so supportive and that like soothes and nurtures that part of you that was like this little girl who danced her butt off for most of her life, most of her young, life. And now you found that like new expression of that dance, that art form. I think that is so special. I love that.
Thank you for tuning in to Collecting Consciousness.
We're so grateful that you've been on this journey with us so far.
And we look forward to seeing where we are going to expand, curate, and collect.
So if you haven't already liked, subscribed, or shared our content, and you feel called to do so, we would so deeply appreciate it. From our souls to your soul, and our hearts to your minds. We are collecting consciousness.
Heck yeah.
Thank you. I know that like little me would be looking at me and would be a little confused at first at why I'm not wearing that much clothing, but watching the performance, little me would be very proud, very happy at how far they've come.
Yeah. Does that like just to expand on that, does that feel like, I know we talked about it feeling like rebellious to be in such little clothing? Because I think that's one part for me when I went to the show. I was like, whoa, that's a huge piece of this that like I think I mean, I'm just taking a wild, I'm making an accusation that I think most women would really have some kind of obstacle with, like in some way, shape, or form, no matter how comfortable you may be in your body. Like, that's a big deal. Like, is it a big deal? Does it feel big to you? Like, did you struggle at all with that piece of it,
A little bit, yeah. I've always like struggled personally a little bit with my body. Yeah. Mostly my little tummy. I've always kind of struggled with that. And I would get a little nervous, like showing my body to people. Being intimate with people was a really hard thing for me to do, like in my early adulthood. But even like as a kid, like just kind of being seen as like in like an inappropriate way, I never really wanted to do that. I was like, oh, I'm not like in my early days of dancing, one of my teachers would make fun of me for not like shaking my hips, which both of you have seen. I am insanely good at that. I will be a little narcissistic about that. My hips
toot your horn.
Yeah, I'm gonna toot my horn for that. Yeah. And I knew that as a kid, and I was like, no, I can't do that. People are gonna see, that's gonna be inappropriate. I can't do that. So there always has been this kind of like that like, I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable when they watch me perform. I don't want to make people feel like they're looking at something they're not supposed to. But now, after kind of like getting over that hurdle of like, oh, this is just how my body moves, and that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. That was a big hurdle for me to get over, and I became such a better dancer after that because I wasn't holding back my own body. And then from there, getting into drag and burlesque and kind of like showing off more of my body, I kind of had to deal with my actual like issues with my physical body itself. And honestly, I kind of had that issue right up until Tech Run of our Get Your Heart On show. After seeing everybody else's bodies and seeing like how comfortable they were with theirs, I was like, you know what? This is a space where I can be comfortable with my body. I'm going to try and not think too hard about what my stomach looks like in the outfit that I've picked out. I'm going to worry about my own performance, and I'm going to worry about just how I feel in the performance and in the outfit. And I think that's a lot more important than how your body looks, because you know what? It looks how it looks. That's just how it is. Like, hopefully people are taking care of themselves. And if your body doesn't look perfect despite that, who cares? It's perfect for you. That's what matters. I say this as like almost a bit of a hypocrite. I'm like, please love your bodies. It's worth it. Show them off. Be proud of them. It does not matter the little things. And I'm kind of saying that to myself as well all the time. I'm like, that's a message that I need to hear constantly. So I want everybody else to hear that too. Like a couple people actually came up to me after the show and was like, it is inspiring seeing you so confident in your body. And I was like, you should have seen me a couple hours ago at Tech Run. I was not that confident in my body. But it really just goes to show how important it is for people to see body types like theirs up on stage, being loud and proud, being shown off. And getting to see in Tech Run just like all the beautiful bodies and how they move so naturally and just so confidently. I'm like, nope, okay, this is good. People aren't going to be uncomfortable looking at my body. They're going to be excited. They're going to be entertained. They're going to be they're going to be inspired. They're going to be having a good time. And that's just something that I really needed to experience. And it's been honestly really like healthy for me. It's been kind of helping in my like self-discovery, self-help journey in a sense.
Yeah. Honestly, so beautifully said, Rocki. And it's true. Just that acknowledgement to yourself too, to be like, you know what? I don't need to worry about my body because it truly is fine as it is. What I can worry about is my performance. Like truly stepping out, because, you know, you can take a picture of yourself and you look at it and we can often always go to the harsh things that we see. But when we start, you know, putting ourselves in these uncomfortable positions, these vulnerable positions, like you're putting your body out on the stage and being out there for people, you are allowing, like you said, it's a message for you that is getting into your subconscious. The more you push yourself to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, well, you're going to start lessening those worries. You're going to start realizing, oh, actually, I'm beautiful. And that is just a societal program that has been ingrained in me to worry about my tummy. So I truly think that truly, what a beautiful message you just put out there, because it is inspiring. It is exciting. It is amazing to see other same body types, other different body types, because you are helping. And it even ties back to you wanting to do this to help others, to help spread a message. You truly are getting people to realize that we put things in such strange boxes when there's a vast variety of different body types, different areas and avenues, blah, 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 blah. It's a true message what you just put out there, and you're helping a lot of people.
Thank you. I'm glad. I hope that people can watch my performances and be inspired the way that I was inspired by other drag queens and other performers. That's like, if you get nothing else from my performance, I just hope that you have fun and you feel happy about yourself. That's my dream, honestly.
And you know, I just like want to continue just like kind of just expanding on that. So do you like, because it's a mental thing to be able to like have those thoughts and then be able to also tell yourself, be aware of the thought, and then also be able to coach yourself through it and say, okay, I really just need to care about my performance, not my body. And like all of that is a very like deep presence and awareness with our mind. So I'm just curious, do you have any practices like in your off stage life? Do you have any practices that help you have that ability? Because a lot of us, you know, it's
Practice.
Yeah, it's definitely a practice to be aware of your mind. And
one of them is actually sitting right next to me, my journal. I do a lot of journaling, and if anyone looked in there, they would probably put me in the psych ward, but
Here's my journal.
And that's why you journal. And that's why you journal.
Yes, that is why we journal. Honestly, just kind of like getting your thoughts out is a really good way to do it. Even like the negative thoughts, if you just kind of like write them down, put them out there, you can see them, you can visualize them. It's a lot different when something is in your head and you're just like, because you know, in your head it's like, oh, they're just thoughts, and then they spiral, and then you kind of everything goes everywhere. But when you see them written on a page, at least for me, I had the realization of like, nobody should ever be told these things. This is something that nobody deserves to hear from another person. Why am I telling them to myself?
Wow.
Because if nobody deserves to be told that kind of stuff, why do I?
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously it's different when you're talking to yourself, because it's like, okay, I'm not being hurt by another person, I'm just being hurt by myself. But still, you're still being hurt. You're still causing yourself distress. You're causing yourself potential trauma. And it's hard to kind of get yourself to stop doing that, because once you go into like a negative headspace, it is really hard to get back out of there. And I do have a pretty good support system as well outside of just me. I have like I have my family. I thankfully have a pretty supportive family. I have my roommate. I have my other friends. I have now my fellow performers. Like, I have a lot of positive energy around me. I just needed to sort of channel that into the way that I think about myself. Because I know that nobody thinks about me the way that I think about me, except for maybe assholes, but like, I don't care about them. I don't care about their opinion. But the opinions that do matter to me are the ones that I should be putting on myself. Like, if those are the opinions that make me happy and that make me feel good about myself, why am I ruining them for myself? You know?
The self-sabotage.
Yeah. And like, I still do it. There are still a lot of things that I self-sabotage with. I've had a lot of struggles with like, you know, romantic and sexual relationships, with like self-worth, self-image, with like my direction in life, my future. I've had a lot of like just negative thoughts and just like negative downward spirals for the majority of my life. And it's only been within the past couple of years that I've really been like, I need to kind of stop doing that. I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life if I keep thinking about myself like this and about my life like this. I've had a couple, like I've hit a few rock bottoms recently. That's the best way that I can put it. And it sucks, but sometimes you do need to hit rock bottom to realize like, I don't actually deserve this. Like, if you can't realize that on your own, then hopefully the universe will just like kind of smack you with something, because we don't deserve to be hateful towards ourselves. There's already so much hate in the world. Don't direct that at yourself. You deserve to love yourself and be comfortable with yourself. And even if your life isn't going quite the way that you want it to right now, you can still be happy with who you are. And hopefully eventually that happiness will take you there.
Wow. That was so great. I love that. Was so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, it's perfully spoken and
vulnerable and raw.
And I just, thank you for sharing. And I just love that you have that tool and that you've walked yourself out of those like rock bottoms, because a lot of people do get stuck there and they don't know the tools, or they don't have a tool. So I think that's really so inspiring that you found that tool and that you really use it. Like, you really take it serious. You're not just like scribbling on a page, shutting it and walking away. You're like actually doing the work to look at the page and to like really process it. I think that's huge, because I mean, it's a big deal to take on a lot of our own stuff on our own is a big task, because there's a lot of stuff being a human.
Obviously, that strength cannot be found right away. So support systems are really important. I've had a hard time with accepting help from other people because I've been like, no, I need to figure this out on my own. I don't want to burden other people with my problems. I don't want, bless you. I don't want people to think that they have to take care of me or that they have to waste their mental energy on me. That's not true. If you have a good support system, they're a good support system for a reason. They want to help you. Yeah. And I still struggle with that. I have people that are like, please let me help you. And I'm like, no. But you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to be entirely on your own in your self-help journey. Just because it's called self-help doesn't mean you can't get help from other people with the things going on with yourself, you know? Like, you're allowed to ask for help. And that's another thing that I'm saying that I'm like, okay, Rocki, you have to internalize that one. You're allowed to ask for help. I'm allowed to ask for help.
Yeah.
All a part of the journey, you know, the learning, the lessons, where maybe next month you're going to be asking for all the fucking help, you know. It's just really allowing yourself to be in it in this moment. You're feeling this. Oh, I see that I struggle with asking for help. Maybe I can shift and try and reach out in a vulnerable time. It's truly, it's all a part of the journey. And I really feel like we get dealt these cards and it's up to us. It's our choice to change what we want to change and be what we want to be, but also, leaning on those support people that really do see you, because not everybody sees us. That's just the way the world works. But leaning on your chosen family, leaning on your family, leaning on the people that truly, truly make you feel seen. That is what's important in my eyes.
Exactly. And it's definitely not like a purely uphill journey.
No.
You will have your downs. This is a roller coaster.
You're going to go up and then you're going to fall back down as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you may be down for a while, but it's just really important to remember that you won't always be down, and that if you want to, you can bring yourself back up. Unfortunately, there are people that do prefer to just kind of sit and wallow in their sadness. I used to be like that. I was a very angsty teenager. But eventually I just kind of came to the realization that no, I don't actually want to spend the rest of my life this depressed and miserable. I would rather enjoy my life, and I need to figure out how I can get there, because I may not be there yet. I'm in a pretty good spot mentally, thankfully, but I'm still not fully where I want to be. And I even now, even like last week, I was down in the dumps. I was like really depressed over just like the state of the world and the state of like my personal life, and a lot of like stuff with my like romantic and sexual relationships, because that's kind of the like biggest thing that I've struggled with in my life ever since I was like in middle school, honestly, like TLDR. But I pulled myself out of it, and you know, I'll probably end up back there at some point, and that's okay. You don't have to ignore all of your negative feelings. That's not the way to self-help. That's just part of the journey. No matter how happy you are as a person, you will still have your down moments. And that is healthy, actually. That's really healthy.
The full human emotional experience. Acknowledge all emotions so that we can move through emotions, so that they don't stay stuck in us. Because if we ignore them and push them down, then they just get latched into our body. But when you actually acknowledge them and see them and let them be witnessed, that's how they move. That's how they shift. One card, I'm a oracle card reader, Rocki, and one card that is coming to my mind, and it has been prevalent in my own life. I trust the timing of my life. You've been saying that maybe you're not where you want to be just yet, but by you continually doing the things, you'll get there. And truly, like, because there's times that I've been in my massage room and I'm like, oh, why am I not here? Why am I not there? And like the message that had kept coming back to me was, I trust divine timing. I trust trust the timing of my life. And truly, we are cooking, we are brewing, we are living life. And like you said, sometimes it's a down part of your life, and accepting that and seeing that and letting it like work through it. Because when you work through it, you're going to transmute it and you're going to see yourself in a different way. So it's like, no, we are not meant to live rainbows and unicorns as much as people want to. You have to live the full capacity of life, but you also have to get yourself back up. You know, we all make choices, and we can stay to sit in these fucking woe is me, why is this never working out for me? Like, I used to have that mindset in my early days, and a card that pulled me out of my ass was, I choose to live with ease. Life doesn't have to be as difficult as I make it. Truly, we have choices. When you start to see, oh, hey, I'm really letting this bother me all the time. Maybe I should start looking at why it's bothering me so that I can start shifting. Like, life is not, life is made of like a roller coaster. There's flips, there's turns. You're going to go back here, you're going to go over here. But when you give yourself the space to just live it and witness it, you'll start to see things differently, and you'll get new perspectives for yourself.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm also an oracle card reader. I have them like right over there.
Cool. Yeah,
do you want to see them? Hang on, I'll grab
them. Yeah, I do. I totally do. You're like, do you want to see them? I'm going to go
I'm like, do you want to see them? I'll show them off.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm literally looking at like 4 decks right now.
I know. I was like, Court, you have them everywhere. Open, ready for pulling, ready for pulling.
Yeah. Constant.
It's maybe backwards in the camera, but
I gave that one to my best friend. I gave that to Tootsie. Yes. Rebecca Campbell.
Yes, I love Rebecca Campbell. I love her art style. So part of my like spiritual journey, basically, when I was living in Fredericton, and I had a pretty good like friend group within like my dorm. There was a bunch of us that all lived in the same dorm, so we all like hung out together all the time. One of my friends,
Res life.
Yes, res life. It was great at times. It's great if you actually have like good friends in your dorm. Anyway, one of my friends is the daughter of a spirit medium, and she asked me and one of our other friends if we wanted like personalized readings from her, if we wanted to like have like a good hour session with her and just have her like read us to filth. And boy, did she ever.
Cool.
That's cool.
But at the end of mine, she told me, she was like, you should be doing what I'm doing. Even through a camera, I can sense that in you.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, shit. All right, here we go. And through that journey, I've realized that I actually have spirit guides with me all the time. I believe I have 4 of them, and they kind of make a lot of decisions for me. And this was one of them. They picked these out, not me. I probably would have looked at it on my own because it's very pretty and I love the aesthetic of it. But no, this was entirely them. And I use my cards to talk to them specifically. I don't usually do a whole lot of readings for other people just because the conversations with me and my spirit guides are very like sacred and personal to me. If anyone was ever curious, I would absolutely do it as long as like they consent to it. But it's mostly just kind of like me, if I really am stuck in a situation and I do not know what to do, I ask them for help. And I think one of my favorite things is when I'm like, oh, I'm in this situation, I can't really like make a decision, like blah blah blah, and then they pull the card that just says no on me, and I'm like, okay. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is.
I love it. I love it.
I get that one a lot from them.
I love that.
It's like, no.
Do you know who they are individually, or do you just know them as 4 entities, like energetically?
I just know them as 4 entities. I believe that they were also spirit mediums, or at least like witches, some kind of like spiritual entity from a really long time ago. I do not know them personally. I can tell we don't have any sort of personal connection because like my family is not very spiritual at all. Like if I tried to talk to this stuff about my dad, he would like sit there and nod his head, but like there'd be like the Windows error sound going through his brain. He'd be like, as long as you're happy.
Oh, that's sweet.
And like some of my other family members are like religious, like Christian. I have some Jehovah's Witnesses in my family. So there is a lot of like religion and kind of like spirituality in that sense, but I'm really the only one that is like, yo, I got ghosts and shit.
Yeah. I really got the spirits.
I really got the spirits. So I don't think any of them are like family to me. Honestly, they might have been like companions of mine in a past life. I'm not entirely sure, and they don't seem like they want to share that information with me yet, so it might not be something that I can handle.
Right.
Whatever it may be. I'm just happy that they're here with me and they're a really positive energy in my life. I always tend to find like other like spiritual people are like drawn to me because of this. And they kind of protect me. They let me fall ass backwards constantly, but they're usually always there to help me like
got some lessons to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you're kind of dumb sometimes, and we're gonna let you be dumb, and then we're gonna comfort you when you realize that you've been dumb.
Oh.
I'm like, perfect. That's honestly what I need.
Yeah. Totally.
Like if I'm having a mental breakdown, I can feel their hands, I can feel them hugging me, I can
The
feel
support.
them, like, yeah. But they're not gonna shield me from having those negative experiences, because I do
again,
need to
yeah. Yeah, that's how we learn. That's how we fucking learn.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, you know, a lot of people will probably think that all of this is like mumbo jumbo and like weird, but honestly, I'm okay with it. That's you know what? Yeah. You don't need to be in my life. That's okay. Yeah. You don't need to understand what I'm going through, but a lot of people use spirituality or even like religion or anything like that as a way to kind of cope with life, because life is a very like hard thing to do on your own. And, you know, if some divine being has decided that they want to help me through life, I'm gonna fucking take it.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna take that help.
Right. And, you know, also like on the flip side of that, like, and you also, by talking freely about it with people that you're not sure if they're going to take it or leave it, like you're planting seeds. So you're like tossing that
opening
seed,
minds.
Like, okay. What is
I'm curious about a spirit guide. Yeah. I wonder if I have a spirit guide. Yeah. It's totally opening up doors.
Yeah. That's so like,
go ahead, think that I'm crazy. Why not? Hopefully you think I'm so crazy that you just don't stop thinking about it, and then you're like, wait a minute, what if?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Wow, that was so great. I'm so happy we expanded on all that, because that was just so beautiful. I'm happy that you could share all of that. Yeah.
The journey. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's the journey.
Yeah, gives context.
And I'm still pretty young. I'm still only.
Yeah, how old are you?
I am about to turn 24 next month.
Oh, yay.
So I'm still, I know some people will be like, nah, that's like, you're an adult now. You've got it figured out. No, I don't.
No. You're baby.
I don't know what's going on.
You're a baby.
I don't know where I am half the time.
No. Oh my God.
Literally, I'm 34 and I'm like, you're still a baby.
And like,
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. I'm just a little guy.
Yeah.
So hopefully, like, seeing someone as young as me being able to like kind of have coping mechanisms and have healthy like outlets for things, hopefully that's inspiring to people who are also young like I am, because that's when we tend to have the most of our mental problems is like teenage and early adulthood.
What if you're figuring it out?
Yeah. And if you are unfortunate and cannot like pull yourself out of like those negative headspaces when you can, a lot of people do unfortunately get stuck in those ways for the rest of their lives. And that sucks. I personally think that you can always get out of it. Like no matter how old you are, it's never too late to start like finding your happiness. But I do hope that like people who are my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, people in that like prime, like oh fuck, what am I doing with my life kind of age. I hope that I can like kind of help them sort of be like, hey, it's okay. You don't need to know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody actually has their shit together, and that's okay. We're all finding our shit in our own ways. Don't feel stressed like you have to know everything by the time you graduate high school or by the time you become like a legal adult or anything. Like, no, it's okay. People spend
better late than never.
Yeah, people spend their whole lives trying to find happiness, and that's okay. Like,
it's the experience,
it'll
the
come.
journey.
If you look for it, it'll come.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Rocki, something was really sitting in me like these last like 20 minutes of us chatting. You ever thought about writing a book?
I have actually thought about it quite a few times. I used to do a lot of writing and like poetry and stuff when I was in high school and middle school. It was really weird. I would be in English class and I would just like be like writing something. Everyone would be like, Kiara, what are you writing? And then I'd turn around and it's like a 2-page like poem.
Oh my God.
And then I'd give it to my English teacher and she'd read it out loud and be like, oh my God. And I'm like, and I'm like, half the time I didn't even know what I was writing about until I finished it or until I couldn't find a rhyming word. And then I was like, oh, that's what I'm writing about. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wonder if that was like channeled. Like, I wonder if
it was. I was planning. I was waiting for a segue to bring it up because I was going to be like, yeah, Rocki, I think you need to write a book. I truly feel like that was channeled, Bethany, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep, probably.
Yeah.
Like the whole time too, I was like, how old is she? Or how old are they? Like, I was like, fuck, 23, yes. And you know what's one thing that I really love? I am noticing so many more young people really seeing their potential and really trying to go through and work through this shit now rather than, you know, like a lot of like Bethany and our ages, you know, it's late 20s, it's the 30s, it's the 40s that they're starting to shift. I am truly seeing 21-year-olds. I'm seeing kids and like teenagers, but like truly those young 20-year-olds, like light years, it'll be exciting to see where you are at 34.
And you know, I kind of pegged that age because you really reminded me a lot of like where I was kind of at that age. You know, I'm 37 now. And so like I just like when I'm hearing you talk about like, you know, just the things that you're going through and things that you're trying to process, I kind of had you pegged around like 23, 24, just college. And I was like, man, I remember that. And I mean, like, you like don't know. And even at 37, like you don't even know what's coming down the pipeline a year ahead. So it's like, what I think is really cool to extrapolate from the whole thing is like, get the tools in the tool belt. Yes. That age. Like, so it's like, you know, and then continue acquiring tools because you can keep that, but like, of course. And actually just really taking that ownership even at that young age is a huge deal because it teaches you that as you go through now the rest of your life, like you're going to take the ownership. You have to take the ownership and you have to like look at it and you can't just like push it down, push it away. It doesn't work. You know, you gotta. And so, yeah, I think when I was first going through all of that, it was super taboo. I mean, like it was still very taboo. I would say, Qaurtz, you're like on the verge, you know, that age with your generation, that age started to become more. And now with social media, it's like really acceptable. It's like, I think that this stuff is talked about, which is so beautiful and so helpful for the consciousness of the planet, is for us to be able to just make it acceptable to like talk about this stuff, it's really fucking hard to be human. And there's a lot of things we deal with.
And also what Rocki was saying too, like at any change we can change, and throwing it back to your dad, Tom, on the podcast interview we did in the like maybe episode 5 or 6, better late than never. Like if you start to feel things in your mind and you want a new way, you can do that new way. It is better late than never. Don't tell yourself because you're 60 that you can't go and do burlesque, that you can't go off and go do something, because you can prove those societal norms wrong, and you can always show up and take accountability and ownership for your own life and start shifting and start creating and start living in that life of joy. And like we've said multiple times, it's like it's like the journey is not always going to be ups. Like there's downs and all that shit. So it's like, but having those tools, having that awareness and that willingness will make your life with more ease, because you'll have.
Yes, no, like it's really important to have that skill of like self-reflection and self-introspection, where it's like, okay, everything bad happens. People have bad shit happen to them. It's okay, but why are they happening? Like, is there something that we can do to help it? And if there is something we can do to help it, we need to do that. If it's something that's beyond our control, we need to try really hard to not dwell on it. Like, people make mistakes, and that's okay. And as long as you're like willing to learn and grow from them, then you're gonna be okay. But you also need to keep in mind that like you're a human, you will make mistakes. You don't have to like constantly drill yourself for making those mistakes. Because like I have experienced this recently, where like too much self-reflection can also be dangerous, because you're like, you start to kind of like focus on like, oh, I'm the problem, I am causing my own downfall constantly, I am like a tornado, I am like just destroying everything. And it's like, no, you're just a human, it's okay. You're allowed
the internalization.
Like, you know, it's great that I have so much self-reflection and self-introspection. It's a really good skill to have, but you need to also be gentle with yourself. You need to show yourself the kind of love and compassion that you would share for somebody else that is going through the same kind of sentiments. Like, this might not work for everybody, but I've found like myself, it's a really good skill to kind of like think of myself as an entirely other person. And I think Rocki has actually kind of like helped me with that, being like having a whole new persona, and having my persona be someone who is so like confident with their body, confident with themselves, like doesn't really care who everybody else, like what everyone else thinks of them. It's like, okay, Rocki is like exactly how I want to be. What can I learn from her? Even though we're literally the same person, she still feels like a separate entity to me that is helping me through my own journey.
It's like your higher self. That's what that feels like to me. That Rocki is your higher self, and those are they're intertwined, and you want to keep striving to be like Rocki. We'll keep learning and listening to Rocki. And it's like it's such a crazy concept to think about, because like we are the same person. I did make this character with my own brain. I went on my Sims and I made my own little outfits and I gave her all the things. But like I've made her into something bigger than just like a little character. I've made her into a whole personality. I've given her a whole life. I've given her like I've made her into something that can help myself and help other people. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's whoa. That's cool. Well, on that note, what does Rocki Quartz have to say to the viewers, to the people of this world? What is the message that Rocki wants to bring forward?
Express yourself. And not just in like whatever art form you enjoy, not just in your hobbies, in everything. A lot of people tend to think that like, you know, when you have something like a job, or when you have like something like school or whatever, you have to just kind of like put your head down, do the work, and get out of there. You don't have to do that. You can express yourself in every single facet of your life, and it'll help you to kind of figure out who you are, what kind of stuff that you like, what makes up your personality, and what makes you happy. Because you don't have to be a performer that is dancing around on stage half naked in order to feel confident in yourself. That's how I decided to do it. It's been working out pretty well for me. But if you find self-confidence in writing a little story or a little poem in your own bedroom by yourself that you don't even share with anyone, that's great. Wonderful. If you find it in like taking a walk and just appreciating the beauty of nature, that's great. Do that too. Just try to find the you in everything that you do and everything that you experience.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your heart and your mind and your creativity and what goes on behind the scenes, you know, in the creative process. I think it has just been such a beautiful interview, just in the most full way. Really, I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to talk with both of you. Courtney, it's wonderful to see you again. Bethany, this is our first time actually like talking. I remember seeing you at the show, and I remember looking at my pictures, and I was like, okay, this woman has been like smiling and beaming this entire time. I want to talk to her. I need to see her energy. I need
true Bethany form.
Totally
that's
smiling
so
the whole
cool.
time.
Yes, no, like I was looking at my own pictures and I'm looking at myself, and then I like zoom in and I'm like, this woman is beaming. And I loved her. I need to meet her and talk to her. So
and then boom, you are.
Yeah.
Divine, listen.
I'm gonna be at a show as a stagehand. It's in the works. Like Jacinda and I are talking. I won't be.
Oh, really? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, I got a lot going on. But
life. Yeah, true.
And it won't be until the end
September.
of September, September I'll be gone for that show, so it'll be in December most likely. So it's gonna be down the pipeline. But I'm getting. I want to be there. I want to share in the magic and
the empowerment.
Just be a part of it. Just be like. Yeah, a little bit more intimate with it, not just like
and how beautiful the people that you interviewed will get to be with you. Oh, that's cool.
And likewise, cool. I'm excited to be with you all. Like, I'm just excited to be around the community more. I think you're all, you know, I've said in every interview, I felt the pulse. It was really deep and it was really big, and I knew that there was like a really deep, big pulse of love, vulnerability, acceptance, like all the things, self-expression, this journey of becoming who each individual is. And it's like, I knew it was like a deep pulse, and I just was like, very attracted to it. I was like, I really want to like get into that. Like, I just feel there's a lot there, and it has been totally that. And I've learned that, you know, and I've gotten the privilege now. We've gotten the privilege to sit and like really get to know that
many people.
Pulse. And I'm so grateful, and I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to like be in a little bit deeper part of the community. Yeah,
cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
Well, guys, thank you once again to Rocki Quartz. This is Collecting Consciousness. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, share the message. We are trying to collect the wisdom, to plant seeds, and to help others on their journey. If you feel called to share any sort of message that you receive from this episode, please message us through Instagram or through YouTube. We are so graciously thankful for these opportunities, and till the next time, the Burlesque series does not stop here. Bye, guys.
Till next time. Bye-bye.